Hello everyone and welcome to the live stream. I hope that you're all doing good. Tonight we're going to be hanging out for a couple of hours, probably like an hour and a half to 2 hours. I have a bunch of different things that I want to talk about, a couple of different topics, ones that I've covered in the past that there's updates to, like Blizzard, Marvel, but there's also some new situations that have arisen, like Ruby Rose. The whole Batwoman situation. Batwoman has been a terrible show so far, and there's a little bit of drama regarding that, and I want to talk about Nintendo Switch. So tonight, I think we're gonna start with Nintendo. Last week, during the discussion stream, I talked about Nintendo Switch Online expansion pricing, and how obviously a lot of people are extremely upset over these super high expensive prices. It's like $50 and then $80 for the family bundle or the family account edition of the new Nintendo Switch Online expansion. And there's insiders coming forward now basically saying they know the reason why this pricing is so high, why it's ridiculous. And it's because of the whole Sega situation, because they're adding Sega Genesis games to the expansion pack. What are they calling it? I'm just going to call it the expansion pack. And they're basically saying it's because of licensing, which wouldn't be surprising, but maybe Nintendo shouldn't make deals if they can't give people products that are actually worth the money. I'm going to be talking about two different things regarding the Ruby Rose situation. So a couple of days ago, Ruby Rose came forward and basically said she was treated like a piece of crap on the set of Batwoman. There were a lot of issues with directors, producers, people that were part of the project, and, you know, the mistreatment was so ridiculous. The music just got like 10 times louder for some reason, and she felt like it was unsafe, and that's why she would never return for any amount of money. But of course, Warner Brothers actually fired back and called it revisionist history and said that she's twisting and spreading lies. She's twisting facts and spreading lies. And there are even fellow actors of hers that are coming forward basically saying that, no, she was the big problem on set. I want to talk about two brief situations with Blizzard as well. As I'm sure all of you know, Blizzard's facing many lawsuits right now, but they attempted to halt a lawsuit, hoping that it was going to work, and it was rejected very, very quickly. And I want to talk about Mccree's new name. They've officially renamed Mccree in Overwatch, and his name is the most, I feel like, generic, boring name for such a cool character. I understand they were afraid of backlash and outrage because his name is Mccree, but they could have at least given him a slightly cool name, and they gave him like the most basic bitch name. It is stupid. I'm sorry. It's stupid. It's really dumb. And I also want to talk about Eternals. You guys know I cover a lot of Marvel news here on the channel, and it's time for Eternals to release. And I was expecting the reviewer score for Eternals to be amazing, spectacular, fantastic, because that's the type of situation that usually happens. Usually the audience score is low, the reviewer score is high for a movie like this, but no. Right now, it's not getting very positive reviews from Shill Media. I can't believe it. I think that this is truly a first. I can't believe it. How could these reviewers do this? I mean, it's ridiculous, guys. Okay, they're being paid a lot of money to lie in reviews, okay? I can't believe that they'd give it this rating. I mean, clearly, this is the best Marvel movie that's ever gonna release, obviously. I mean, we've got so much diversity, you literally couldn't fit any more diversity in. Actually, that's wrong. There is a white guy and a white girl, so they could kick him out. But the reason why they have those characters, that race, is because they're two big actors. Because it's Angelina Jolie and it's Richard Madden. So clearly that's the only reason why. So we got a lot to cover tonight. Hope you're all doing well. We'll be hanging out for like an hour and a half, 2 hours probably. And then towards the end of the stream, I'll talk about tomorrow. Because tomorrow night, I've posted it on, I've posted it in like Discord on the community tab. But it's my birthday. So I'll be doing a special birthday stream. And really quickly, I want to thank DB Burns. Thank you so much for becoming a Bronze Titan at the beginning of the stream. Much appreciated, and thank you for your support. Welcome, welcome. Make sure to join the Discord, and we can set your permissions so that you can have special access to the supporter-only channel. But hi, guys. Hope your night's going well. Eternally damned. Eternal disappointment. We could make these jokes all night, guys. We really could. I mean... I wouldn't bother me. I'm not saying that it would. But we can make the fucking eternally trash jokes all night. I'm inclined to believe Ruby Rose more than the people who are still working on the Batwoman series. They're not going to trash their own show, so it's unsurprising they're accusing Ruby Rose of lying. The thing is that last year, maybe it was the beginning of this year or early this year or late last year, there were actors coming forward basically saying that she was awful to work with and that she was like a prissy drama queen. So those came out a year ago. She's only making her accusations now. My problem is that, and I'll talk about this more once we get to the topic, is that you have piece of shit directors, producers calling out whiny, stuck-up actors like her. Okay, it's a bit of the, you know, one side saying one thing, the other side saying literally the same exact thing, and everyone's saying the same things about each other. It's just kind of like rude assholes calling out rude assholes. Well, we'll talk about it once we get to that. I'm going to start with Nintendo Switch Online now, because it's going to be a relatively quick topic. Eternals looks so fucking boring. I agree. I have not at any point been excited for Eternals. I personally haven't. I tried at first to, like, watch the trailers and look at the character posters. I was hoping maybe, like, once it got closer, it'd sound cooler, and I don't know. I've had, like, no interest in it, and I still don't. I'll watch it at some point. Just because I don't talk about, so, like, I've talked about Eternals, like, 2 or 3 times. I'm not going to talk about something and not give it a shot. So I'll watch it at some point, but doesn't mean I'm going to like it. Maybe I'll watch it and I'll be like, this is the best thing to ever be created since sliced cheese. I don't know. Maybe it'll be perfect. Maybe it'll be the best Marvel movie ever. But I've got a sneaking suspicion that it's actually gonna be garbage. I mean, if the thing is usually when reviewers give things bad scores, the audience scores end up amazing. I don't think that's gonna happen here. I really don't. I'd love to be positive and upbeat and hopeful. Okay, you guys know, I try to go into things unbiased. I try to give things fair shots and fair chances. I really do. Sometimes it doesn't work out the way that it could have or should have. But this just doesn't look good. Maybe it'll be perfect though, who knows. I guess we'll see. Some reviews actually said it was boring. I know, and I'm surprised because this seems like the perfect Marvel movie for reviewers. It really is. I'm not giving them my money. I mean, I wouldn't give them my money. If you catch my drift. But I'm surprised because it seems like the perfect movie for reviewers. Like, there's emotion, there's lots of characters, there's diversity, inclusivity, there's it all wrapped up in apparently not such a neat bow, but all wrapped up in a nice little package. It seems like it'd be perfect. I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out. I'm not watching it yet, though. When does it release? There's an ad for it on my screen. November 5th. I mean, I'm sure there's something better I could do on November 5th. I'm going to be honest. I don't even know what day November 5th is. I think it's Friday? Next Friday? Yeah, next Friday. Jeez, I don't even remember the date. All I know is it's my birthday tomorrow. That counts for something, right? The only reason why I remember my birthday is because I stream on my birthday. Yeah, it's hard when it comes to an actress like Ruby Rose. The same thing with Ray Fisher. Because they make these accusations after they've gotten fired, after months, after people have made accusations against them. And they basically, it's basically a tit for tat, like, oh, someone makes an accusation, then another person makes an accusation, and then another person makes an accusation, and it ends up being he said, she said, one party said this, another party says that. It's hard. Because when it comes to Ruby Rose, I don't like Ruby Rose. I don't care about her new movies, a lot of the movies she's been in. Like, I'm not some mega fan. But at the same time, if something bad happened, then clearly it needs to be discussed. Clearly people need to acknowledge it. But she's only making these accusations now, when months ago she was fired. Months ago, other accusations were made against her. It's just very screwy situation. Comic book industry. It's not the way anymore. Comic book industry is so screwed. Oh boy? Question mark? We'll get started with the Nintendo topic in just a minute. Only in theaters? Come on now. Say it's not gonna be online. Everything's on the internet. I'm not gonna read one of the comments I just saw in chat. I'm just gonna ignore it. I almost read it out loud. I'm not gonna do it. You know who you are. You know what you said. I'm not getting canceled today. Not me. I'm not getting canceled. Who cares about the Eternals? Marvel fans? I feel like Eternals is just not the way. Out of everything that they could have released, out of all the characters they could have used, they picked the Eternals, and, who? That's basically my reaction. It's just, I know who the Eternals are, that I need this movie now. Yeah, sorry. Not getting canceled today. Yeah, I mean, NDAs could have played into it. But there's people who work on Batwoman right now who have come forward with stories. Other actors. That are still working for them. And some that aren't. Most of them are, though, still. Where are your Ruby Rose posters? Are there really Ruby Rose posters online? We'll get into it in a minute, but Ruby Rose poster. I swear. Oh no, not that kind. Batwoman poster. Did anyone even care enough about the show to make a fucking poster? Oh my god, there's one. It's the one where she looks like a dude with lipstick. I mean, yikes. I would not spend $16 on that. No, ma'am. I would never. What an awful wig, too. Come on now. You can do better than that. I know the budget for the show wasn't that bad, but... I mean, wasn't that high, but it wasn't that bad. Alright, guys, so let's get into the first topic of the evening. So last week, I talked about Nintendo Switch Online and how upset people were over the new pricing. If you didn't hear, they're releasing a new tier of Nintendo Switch Online that includes an expansion pack that has Sega Genesis games, Nintendo 64 games. I believe it's 12 Sega Genesis games and then 9 Nintendo 64 games. And it also comes with the new paid Animal Crossing DLC. And initially when people heard about this, we were really excited, hoping it was going to be good, hoping the prices were going to be fair, because of course there's already multiple tiers of Nintendo Switch Online, but now we know the pricing, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And obviously people are going to be upset when they hear a company they like release a product they want that is far too overpriced. But now there's a lot of information coming out as to why the pricing could be high.
I may miss the stream, so get some of your favorite Mountain Dew flavor with this.
Thank you so much, Stephen, for the $5 donation. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. Mountain Dew is very good. But now we know, or potentially know, why the expansion's price is so freaking high. And I wanted to talk about it because we have a lot of Nintendo fans here. I personally really like my Nintendo Switch. I have the first model of it. I have the OLED. I almost bought a Lite last year, but I literally couldn't find them anywhere when they were sold out everywhere, else I'd have 3 Switches. But I like Nintendo a lot, and what they do with their company and what they offer consumers like me really matters, and I want to talk about it. But this is a Screen Rant article. It says Nintendo Switch Online expansions high price possibly because of Sega. Now this isn't really that surprising to hear about, but I feel like a lot of people kind of, I don't want to say didn't take this into consideration, but didn't know a lot of the details, so I wanted to talk about it. It says an insider suggests the reason for the Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack's $50 price may be blamed on Sega licensing costs. If you guys don't remember the prices, the base online with the expansion pack is $50, and then the family plan is actually $80, which is freaking ridiculous. I am not paying that price. But it says a leaker suggests the reason for the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack subscriptions price could be blamed on Sega licensing, as this expansion pack brings Sega Genesis games to Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch Online's new subscription tier includes games from the 64, Sega Genesis, as well as the upcoming Animal Crossing New Horizons Happy Home Paradise DLC. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like a bad bundle by any means whatsoever. It sounds like something that, I mean, if the price wasn't ridiculous, I'd pay for. I'm someone who loves the Nintendo 64. Genesis, great. A lot of the games they're putting on it, really good. Animal Crossing. I mean, I've been playing Animal Crossing again. I'm really excited for the new DLC, which has fucking farming and cooking, which is gonna be awesome, by the way. But the pricing is just not it. It says the NSO expansion pack price is much higher than the existing subscribers were expecting when it was first announced. It costs $50 per year for individual memberships, which is a $30 increase from the standard online price of $20. And a family membership, should users want to purchase memberships for up to 8 accounts, costs $80 per year. The exact reasoning for why the new prices is unknown, but an insider has provided a possible answer. It seems like a very legitimate answer. It really does. It seems pretty freaking realistic. It doesn't seem like it's some crazy out there reason. Vera, do you have a Genesis? No, I don't. Me have a Genesis? I could never. Genesis sucks. Who would ever have a Genesis? Never mind a box Genesis. Tweets by Emily Rogers mused that a potential reason for the high Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack price tag boils down to licensing costs. She states, I heard Sega were paid very, very well and that the licensing costs add up when taking into account third-party games on Sega Genesis, such as those published by Konami and Capcom. Rogers claims the price could be related to Sega's allegedly low game sales on the Wii Virtual Console service. A reason she indicates is why Sega didn't bring any of its games to the Wii U Virtual Console. My problem here is that, first of all, okay, when it comes to Nintendo, they've done better over the years. They really have when it comes to content on their platform, censorship, things like that. But why? I understand, like, Sega Genesis games are cool. A lot of people are interested in them and like them. But we're talking about Nintendo here. Okay, if Nintendo wanted to add games, I mean, look at all the fucking consoles that they've got. They could have added fucking Game Boy games, GameCube games, DS games. They could have added so many. I think right now all they have is the SNES, a couple SNES games, a couple NES games. They don't even have like 50, 60 games per these systems. We're talking about a couple that are on their services right now. And second of all, maybe Nintendo shouldn't be making a deal with another company if they can't give people a product that's worth the price tag, where they need to charge money to make that they need to charge to make money back. And I understand they're a company, when they do a deal they need to make money, but don't make a deal that screws over consumers. Like, if it's not going to boil down to where consumers are going to be happy with a price, maybe reconsider the deal. Okay? Clearly, at least in my opinion, it's not worth the price right now. If we were talking like 30 Nintendo 64 games and like 30 Genesis games, okay, I could maybe see that. But we're talking about 9 Nintendo 64 games, 14 or 12 Sega Genesis games, and yes, the Animal Crossing New Horizons DLC, which is good, don't get me wrong, because that's like $20 by itself. But not everyone is going to take advantage of all of these things. Not everyone's going to want to play 64 games, or the Genesis games, or even the Animal Crossing DLC. Not everyone plays Animal Crossing. I know it's a super popular game, but we're talking like $80 for the family plan, which is really, really high of a price. It says the new NSO price tier has seen a very negative reception online since the reveal of its release date and cost. Clearly, people are going to be upset by this. It says the disc trailer's dislikes have exceeded 80,000 at the time of writing. Let me open this. Is there a link to it? Oh no. Oh brother. Right now, the announcement is sitting at 17,000 likes and 93,000 dislikes. So clearly, not a lot of people are happy with this, and I understand why. It's really disappointing to see them do this. Like, again, if the prices were a bit more reasonable, okay. But we're talking about a $20, the last one, the highest price was $20, to $50 and $80. It's too high of a price, in my opinion. If they brought that down by maybe $15, I think people would go, okay, you know, it's still a little high, but it's better than it was. And I don't think as many people would be upset, but I think ultimately the price is just a little bit too high for most people to want to pay. But that's all that I really had to discuss with that. We'll move on to the Ruby Rose situation in just a minute. I'll give you guys a second to leave your thoughts in chat, and then we will move on to the next topic. Game Boy was amazing. I loved Game Boy. I truly did. I also really liked the Nintendo DS. Like, just the first one. I never cared about the 2DS. 3DS was cool. 3DS XL, double-decker, triple tier, Alpha Omega. The last and the best 3DS they came out with was pretty freaking cool, though. They have a lot of games they could put on their services that they don't. We all have a Genesis in the form of available emulators. Actually true, though. Very factual. Actually legit. No, Genesis. Yeah, guys, I don't have a Genesis at all. No, not me. Why would I have that? I'm just a fake gamer girl. Ooh woo. I don't really play video games. What do you think I am? A gamer? I'm trying to become a game journalist here. If I want to become a real game journalist, that means I have to stop playing games. Okay? I'm sorry. There are like a couple game journalists out there who actually play games. I think. Most of them just watch a YouTube playthrough. Okay. I'm done. For 5 minutes. Guys, there are a couple good game journalists out there. Not a lot, but there's still some. And I give them credit where credit's due, okay? I just wish that there were more. And it's not even about them, like, having or not having my opinions, because, like, I can enjoy people's content, even if they don't have the same opinions as me. But some of them are just, there's no way. There's no way I could watch your content and take it seriously. That wig is beyond absurd. That wig is actually fucking trash. That wig is like a wig you get at fucking Party City for Halloween. I'm gonna be honest, guys. CW Batwoman. Okay, this official image of Batwoman looks like a bad cosplay of Batwoman. Like, the suit isn't that bad, don't get me wrong, but, like, the wig is bad. It's just, I don't know. Like, the shirt underneath that you can see, it just looks cheap. I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. Ruby Rose, Yavika Leslie, none of them. None of them do Batwoman justice, I'm sorry. It's just, they don't. I'm not impressed. I'd love to be. I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy over here. But it just looks bad. If someone is a game journal who took themselves seriously, wouldn't be surprised if they spent 5 minutes playing a game, then wrote a review. Hey, Kotaku, if you're hiring, I can do it in 3. I can play 3 minutes of a game and have a fully formed opinion on it. You hiring? Imagine. Colin Moriarty? Yeah. He's, I haven't seen too much of his work, actually. But the work that I've seen from him is, pretty good. Again, I don't follow a lot of specific game journalists or creators or anything. I just kind of do my thing, and when I come across work that I like, I highlight it in videos or talk about it or share it. Yeah, I don't like specifically follow a couple people's work, like only 2 or 3 people's work. Yeah, this is just looking at the longer you look at this image, truly the more that it hurts. Because I don't know what the budget was for Batwoman Season 1, but it had to be, like, something significant. Batwoman Season 1 budget. 3.4 out of 10. Sheesh. I'd give it a 2 out of 10. Yeah, there's no cost. Why would they release that? Recasting Batwoman. Yeah, I mean, is recasting even worth it? No, it really wasn't. It was a waste. Truly. It was a waste. Reminds me of that one review who didn't even do all the content in Cyberpunk 2077. Not a great game, yes. But as a reviewer, your job is to play everything a game has to offer before your review. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to some games, it's difficult because do we really expect someone to play every piece of content the game has to offer? If you're looking at something like a Witcher 3, don't necessarily think you need to do every little thing and max out all your achievements in every little thing. But yeah, I think that obviously you should have played through the whole story once, most of the side missions once, at least tried out systems in games that have like crafting systems. I obviously think that you should complete majority of the content, like let's say like 85% or 90%. But well, let's be honest, they don't even do that. They do like 30% of the content and say, I have a fully formed opinion. Olivia Munn. Listen, I'm not trying to sit here and trash talk her or anything, but she's real wishy-washy. How does Batwoman remain on the air with only 300,000 viewers? Because companies believe that all of this negative press they get and all of the talk and chatter that happens on social media will eventually equate to views and viewership, and it doesn't. They're under this, like, false belief that, oh, if we have 50,000 people giving dislikes on a video trailer, eventually there's going to be people who will see that and actually watch it, which isn't the case. Alright, guys, we gotta get through this topic because, listen, Batwoman is not my show. Guys, I've talked about Batwoman a lot here on the channel. I do not like the Batwoman. I've thought that the show is pretty mediocre. Thought that it was pretty terrible. Season 2 and Season 3 have been spectacularly awful. Season 1, I'd give maybe like a 3 out of 10. But Season 2 and 3, 2 out of 10's easy. Now, when it comes to Ruby Rose, I personally am not a fan of Ruby Rose. Ruby Rose has made a lot of comments on social media I dislike. She's made a lot of statements regarding her time working on the Batwoman set I do not like. She is someone who jumps at the opportunity for attention when she's put herself in a position where she's not getting attention. And now, there's a pretty big situation that's arisen with Ruby Rose because she eviscerated the CW. She went after them, alleging mistreatment and unsafe conditions on the set of Batwoman, and she said, I wouldn't return for any amount of money, and I actually call bullshit on that, because 3 months ago, or 4 months ago, she literally said in an interview that if she was offered the opportunity to come back to Batwoman, she would. She said she loved her time working on Batwoman, and she thought that even though they parted ways, her and the company, that she'd eventually maybe pick up the cowl again. She'd put in work and effort and actually try to play this character again. But of course, Warner Brothers has fired back over her allegations, but I want to start off with this initial article. It says, according to the former Batwoman star Ruby Rose, the narrative put forth in the media surrounding her departure from the live-action DC Comics adaptation has been a near-complete fabrication, as the actress has alleged that her exit from the show was not due to COVID, but rather the CW's own mistreatment of their actors and neglect of set safety conditions. Now, over the past few days, there's been a lot of news regarding safety on movie and TV show sets because of the whole entire Alec Baldwin situation. I did talk about that when it initially happened. I did mention that in a video. I made a dedicated discussion video on it, so go and check that out. But obviously, safety on movie and TV show sets is extremely important. Safety is not something that should be disregarded at all. It's an extremely important discussion to have, especially when actors, directors, producers, whoever come forward and accuse a company of neglect and a mistreatment and not following safety measures. I think that it is something that's really important to discuss. But Ruby Rose is only coming forward with these accusations now. It's just a little fishy. Suddenly, we heard, I believe it was 3 weeks ago, that one of her movie deals fell through, and she didn't get a role on a TV show she was expecting to. And now all of a sudden, we're hearing these big accusations come forward. Suddenly, when she's not getting the attention she wants, or she's not getting the roles that she desires. Now, I'm not accusing Ruby Rose of doing anything, but this whole situation seems a little bit suspiciously timed. So it says, she revisited the topic of her exit from Batwoman on October 19th, declaring in an Instagram story, Dear CW, everyone that's part of the project, basically. Enough is enough. I'm going to tell the whole world what really happened on that set. I will come for you. So what happened to me never happens to another person again. And so I can finally take back my life and the truth. Shame on you. This comes across very blackmail-y, at least to me. It comes across very... I'm gonna put out this very fucking generic statement on social media and hope that you call me in the next 3 hours to make a deal with me so I shut up or I don't say something. It seems an odd way to handle it. I'm gonna be honest. If I was ever mistreated on a set of a movie, if I was ever mistreated on the set of a TV show, if something terrible ever happened to me, first of all, I'd go to the police. But then as soon as I was able to talk about it, NDAs were done, whatever the case may be, I would just come out and fucking say my piece. I would come out and tell my story and be done with it. I wouldn't be like, I'm gonna come for you, so what happened to me never happens to anyone else again. It comes off very brave, stunning. I've got a story that I'm gonna tell, but like I'm also gonna give them a couple hours to give me a call and try to give me money to shut me up. I don't know, it just comes across that way to me. It says though, oh boy. Not sure if you left after getting promoted to the highest position because you just couldn't stop making young women steam your pants around your crotch while you were still wearing said pants, or if you left after putting a private investigator on me who you fired as the report didn't fit your narrative. Either way, when it comes to you, there's an army waiting for you. Again, her wording here is very, very punchy. When it comes to you, there's already an army waiting for you, and I'm just gonna give them more ammunition to use against you, basically. But again, these are very serious accusations. I'm just stating how her statement comes across to me. It says she then published a video taken during a doctor's visit regarding the neck and rib injury she sustained on the set of Batwoman, explaining cut to 3 weeks later after this video, it's worse than abnormal. This was diagnosed years ago on set, but I was told if I got an x-ray, we wouldn't complete filming on time and on budget. On top of that, I have enough documentation to make a 1-hour documentary, she added. Pray tell what else you would like me to share, the broken neck or broken rib split in two and the tumor. It says in her next entry into her Instagram story, she shared a video of her emergency Batwoman surgery and asserted to everyone who said I was too stiff on Batwoman, imagine going back to work 10 days after this. 10 days or the whole crew would be fired and I'd let down everyone because Peter Roth said he wouldn't recast and I just lost the studio millions by getting injured on his set. Obviously, if this is true, it is fucking disgusting that this happened to her. Obviously. I don't think I need to say that, but it's fucking disgusting if this happened to her. If she had to get all these different surgeries, and she was being told 10 days after these surgeries, if you don't come back to the set, we're gonna fire everyone, you're not gonna get paid, the studio's gonna be up millions, and basically, that would equate to your career being ruined. If this happened this exact way, that is absolutely terrible, and Peter Roth should answer for the situation. I'm not saying he should be canceled or fired, but clearly a thorough investigation needs to be done in this situation. I always talk about internal investigations in companies. I believe that they need to bring in a third party that's completely unbiased to look at the situation, look at the documentation. But I think an investigation here does need to be done with these accusations. Clearly, I think that everyone would agree with that. Because if this is true, it's fucking disgusting. But it says following her surgery video, she shared the message she recorded announcing her absence from the 2019 San Diego Comic-Con and called on fans to imagine taking a huge pay cut to play a passion project and being so excited about Comic-Con and then being told they would not adjust the schedule so I could attend, but then saying, we won't announce it, you have to. Now imagine me putting my foot down and saying, why must I be the face of this? Only to be told if I didn't do this video, they would be silent and people would turn up to find out on that day that I wasn't there. I folded, I wanted to do what it took, but then being told, cover your neck scar, we don't want to see that scar on the video, and you wonder why I posted about my surgery video. Clearly, these are some very serious, large accusations, and again, if safety on set was not being taken seriously, an investigation needs to be done no matter what. But they need to change if that's the case. Obviously, someone shouldn't be forced to go back to work only 10 days after getting multiple surgeries. Someone shouldn't be treated this way, no matter what company they're working for or no matter what industry they're part of. But Warner Brothers is actually firing back against her recent allegations, saying that it's revisionist history. This isn't very surprising, even if her story, it's true or not, whether it's true or not. Clearly, a company's gonna come forward and call bullshit, okay? They don't want to look bad, especially with accusations this serious. But it says Warner Brothers has fired back at Ruby Rose over her recent allegations of mistreatment and unsafe conditions on the set of Batwoman, denying the actress's claims and describing them as revisionist history. It says that word of the CW's alleged workplace failings was made first public on October 19th, when the actress took to her personal Instagram to essentially eviscerate the amicable COVID-related narratives surrounding her departure that she and the network publicly promoted late last year. Of course, we just read about this situation, but scrolling down, it says, let me find... Yeah, okay. So despite the revisionist history that Ruby Rose is now sharing online aimed at the producers, the cast and the crew, the network, and the studio, the truth is that Warner Brothers Television had decided not to exercise its option to engage Ruby for Season 2 of Batwoman based on multiple complaints about workplace behavior that were extensively reviewed and handled privately out of respect for all concerned, Warner Brothers said. That's the only statement they made, and it was a very short statement, but using words like revisionist history are kind of big words for them to use, because they're completely and utterly denying everything without going into detail for everyone. Ruby Rose has made her side of the story public. I would love to hear Warner Brothers' side of the story, but they're just basically saying it was reviewed, handled privately, and that's that. The thing here is that while I do not like Ruby Rose, I also do not like Warner Brothers. When it comes to this whole situation, piece of shit directors and producers do exist. Like Joss Whedon on Justice League. He was it sounds like a piece of fucking garbage to Gal Gadot, to Ben Affleck, to Henry Cavill, to, Ray Fisher, everyone that was part of that project. I mean, he threatened Gal Gadot's career. He threatened Ray Fisher's career, from what we've heard. But we've also got stuck-up whiny actors like Ray Fisher and Ruby Rose making very serious allegations against companies. It's a bit of the pot calling the kettle black here. It's douchebags calling out douchebags. So Warner Brothers is filled with douchebag producers, directors, people that are part of it, executives, CEOs, what have you. But then you've got actors who... How do I say this in the best way possible? Who act like they deserve the world and nothing less. Obviously, if there were safety issues on set. Safety issues? Yeah, I don't know why I was going to say it that way. Obviously, if there were safety issues on set, they need to be investigated. That needs to be handled. If she was mistreated and she got less pay, and there are, recordings of these executives saying these fucking terrible things to her, which there probably aren't, they need to be investigated. And if people are not doing their fucking jobs properly, then they should get fired. If there are people threatening actors' careers, if there are people that are forcing actors to get back on set only 10 days after surgeries, that deserves to be fucking looked into. But my problem here is that all of this timing is a little bit suspicious, because Ruby Rose did just have a bunch of deals fall through, according to, rumors that we've heard on social media, which Let's be honest. Sometimes can be wrong, but a lot of times they're right. It sounds like a lot of deals have fallen through yet. Months ago, there were a lot of accusations made against her by fellow actors and also cast and also crew members of Batwoman, basically saying that she was a stuck-up, whiny little brat, that she wanted everything her way, she was the princess, and she wouldn't accept anything but perfection in the way she wanted things. So it's kind of a hard situation because, yes, you know, she was hurt on set. We do know that. But at the same time, we don't know if this is all the truth and nothing but the truth and nothing was twisted here. So, ultimately, I guess we're going to have to see what happens if Ruby Rose makes any more statements, if Warner Brothers makes any more statements. But that's all that I really had to discuss with that topic. It's just a lot of the pot calling the kettle black. Again, douchebags calling out douchebags. People that want it one way calling out other people that want it one way. It's a situation that we're facing right now. So that's all that I had to really discuss with that. Seems that Hollywood is full of crappy people. Well, every industry is filled with crappy people. There's no industry that is completely and utterly perfect. There's no industry that is without faults. There's bad apples part of everything. There's pieces of garbage human beings in every industry. But Hollywood seems to, have quite a few of those people. A lot of those people seem to flock to the industry. I don't know what to say about that, but it seems like that's a little bit of a problem. Really quickly, guys, if you're enjoying the live stream, make sure to give it a like. If you're not, give it a dislike. Consider donating via Streamlabs. All donos pop up. Consider becoming a member of the channel. All that fun stuff. At the end of the topics, we've got 2 more to go. I'll be talking about tomorrow's birthday stream and what I'll be doing and what I'll be playing and some of the plans. Uh-oh. That wording, a little suspicious. There are no lawsuits or anything right now. So, we'll have to see if anyone files against anyone. If Ruby Rose will file against Warner Brothers, or... We'll see. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna see that type of scale with the situation, but it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. It's a shame that when we pay to see movies, our money supports both prima donna actors and greedy, sleazy Hollywood execs. I wish I could only support the working class crew on movies. I agree to a certain extent. The thing with actors is that I believe everyone needs to get paid, and I do think that the, prima donna actors and actresses should get paid, but at the same time, I wish that the working crew was paid more. Like, look at fucking, I don't know, look at, like, Robert Downey Jr. in Endgame, or Scarlett Johansson in Black Widow. Yeah, obviously they deserve to get paid, but Robert Downey Jr. got paid $80 million and Scarlett Johansson got $60 million. Maybe they could cut like $5 million of that off and give more money to the actual working crew on these projects. Like, we're talking $80 million, or in the Scarlett Johansson case, $60 million. You really can't take $5 million off of that and actually give it to people who need the money to live. Like, I'm sorry. Again, I do believe that actors deserve to get paid, but holy shit. Like, there are people, part of these crews, that are getting paid fucking nothing. That are getting paid minimum wage. Barely. That are struggling to live. I think that actors can get $5 million taken off of their $60 million fucking paychecks. At least, in my opinion, I believe that working class also deserves to get paid. I know that Hollywood and the actors don't think that. But I'm not friends with any Hollywood actors that get paid $80 million, so luckily for me, I don't have a bias here. Maybe one day. I don't know. Alright, guys, let's move into the next topic, which is going to be a very quick one. I have a little bit of an update with the Activision Blizzard situation regarding some of their lawsuits. Now, as you guys know, over the past couple weeks, kind of months at this point, I think it's been like 2 months, Activision Blizzard has been facing many lawsuits, but now their attempt to halt a lawsuit has been completely and utterly rejected. So, it says Activision Blizzard's request, oh, by the way, this is by PC Gamer. It says Activision Blizzard's request to pause its ongoing lawsuit has been rejected. The developer and publisher tried to put the suit on hold following an ongoing battle between the Department for Employment and Housing, the State Department currently suing Blizzard for discrimination and sexual harassment, and the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. The EEOC has also brought a lawsuit against Activision Blizzard, which was settled on the same day it went public for $18 million. Blizzard is facing a lot of public scrutiny right now. They want everything to be as hush-hush as possible. So, of course, the day that lawsuit was announced, they settled it. And they paid them $18 million and said, okay, now just shut up. Don't say anything online. No more posts. No more articles. The least amount of articles and publicity with these situations, the better for them. But it says the DFEH opposed the settlement, saying that it would cause irreparable harm to its own lawsuit, and the EEOC then hit back, revealing that two of the lawyers heading up the DFEH case had formerly worked with the EEOC on its own investigation into Blizzard, the same investigation that led to the settlement. This is a doozy of a situation. World of Lawcraft, honestly, yeah, like, I'm gonna be a fucking lawyer by the end of this. Like, this situation's nutso. It says that's a pretty big ethics violation and a conflict of interest, something which Activision Blizzard could use to get the case thrown out entirely. It's tried to use this hiccup to its advantage, arguing that it needs time to investigate the EEOC's accusations, but it seems that the LA County judge is having none of it, rejecting the request to stay the suit. No reason was given for the denial. This is very bad news for Blizzard. Right now, they're not in a good position. Publicly, privately, they're facing lots of internal issues with employees, with executives, with investors, and also publicly they're facing a lot of scrutiny from people like you and I. A lot of people are very upset, unsubscribing from their games, ditching their games, until they start to change their ways. But of course, one of their largest concerns is changing content in games. The developers that are part of Blizzard are freaking out a little bit. We've seen World of Warcraft censor and change a shit ton of content, like making a painting of a fucking woman fruit. We've seen Mccree in the announcement that his name was going to be changed, and I wanted to quickly reference this because Overwatch has officially renamed Mccree in wake of Activision Blizzard's lawsuits. And guys, hashtag not my Mccree. Okay? I've played Overwatch. I don't play Overwatch right now. I haven't in a while, like half a year or a year. But I used to really like Overwatch. I played it on the PlayStation 4. I played it on PC. I liked Overwatch. I had multiple copies of it. It was a good game in my opinion. And I liked Mccree. Mccree was cool. He had a theme to him. He wasn't all that generic. And he was a fun character. He's a memorable character. His name was fucking cool. His outfits were fucking cool. His voice lines were great. But, of course, he was named after a real developer who had accusations thrown their way when the lawsuits were announced. And they decided to rename him. Okay? And it's one thing to rename a character. That's going to upset people. Some people aren't going to respect that. But it's another thing to rename him the worst possible name that you could actually name someone. Actually, maybe not the worst. I feel like if they called him fucking Gordo, that'd probably be the worst. That'd be bottom of the barrel. But this is like right above a Gordo level. Sorry to the Gordos out there. I don't know if we have any in the audience, but everyone's about to say me with a smiley face. It says, following outrage over the association of the character's namesake to the recent misconduct lawsuit filed against Blizzard by the state of California, Overwatch has officially renamed the cowboy-themed hero Jesse Mccree in an attempt to distance themselves from the controversy. No matter how much they try, listen, if there's any Blizzard developers out there, if there's any Blizzard devs out there who will ever listen to this, anyone associated with Blizzard, changing the name of a character is not going to distance you from a controversy like this. This is a controversy that is never going to go away. That it maybe in years and years and years, people start to forget about, it'll fade into the distance, and then bam, it'll hit you like a truck again. Like the Blitzchung situation. Hashtag free Hong Kong. It's not a situation that's just going to go away because you renamed a character in a video game. And companies need to realize this. Okay? I understand that they don't want this developer's name in the game anymore, but they were the ones who made this decision years ago, and they should stick by it. It says, as announced on October 22nd, the Overwatch member formerly known as Jesse Mccree will now be officially known by the new moniker of Cole Cassidy. I mean, this name speaks for itself. I'm sorry, guys. I can't. You went from a cool name, like Jesse Mccree, to motherfucking Cole Cassidy. Not my Mccree. Not my gunslinger, okay? I will never play a character with the name of Cole Cassidy. It's not cool. It's not hip with the kids, okay? It's not nice. It's not catchy. Cole Cassidy. What a name. Genuinely, what a name. It sounds like another developer name. It really does. It truly does. I mean, nobody is gonna call him that. 100%. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. I do not think a single soul is gonna call Mccree Cole Cassidy. Maybe what they should have done, if they wanted it to look like they cared about people and change, maybe they should have came up with like 4 different names. Thrown another real developer's name in there, maybe. They should have picked 4 names and made a poll on like all their social media or on their website. Put up a poll on their website and be like, in a week, we'll pick the name. And then people would actually have a little bit of feedback. I think a lot of people would be like, okay, I mean, I don't think that's bad. But Cole Cassidy's such a bad name. It's not even good. He's coming to Overwatch on my birthday, guys. Woo! Aren't you all excited? Playing Overwatch tomorrow. Playing the new hero, Cole Cassidy Poggers. Like, what do they expect people to say? Oh my gosh, Blizzard! You've done such a good job! Oh, I'm just so happy you've made all this commitment to change and progress. You've done such a fantastic job. I mean, this is pathetic. It really is. Do they really believe that changing a character's name is going to suddenly solve all the problems people have? Of course not. Cole Cassidy is a porn star's name? Honestly, not surprising. Like, that sounds like a generic name that you can't get ID'd with. Like, if you walked into a bar and you had an ID that said your name was Cole Cassidy, they'd look twice at you and be like, okay, buddy, where's your real ID? What are you, wanted criminal? I don't think it's a good name. It's not catchy, it's not cool, it's not it just doesn't feel unique to me. I personally am not impressed with this name, but I'm also not impressed with the fact that they felt like they had to change it because they thought that that was going to make people happy with them, or it was going to look like they were making progress. That's my #1 problem here. It's not even just the name. It's the fact that they said to themselves, the best we can do is changing a name of a character that's been around for years. I mean, when did Overwatch come out? 2015? 2017? 2016, right in the middle of my guesses. 2016. This character has existed for that long, and they think now this is the best way to get people to be happy with them. It's a ridiculous thing. I'm not impressed. 0 out of 10 from Varadark. Okay. We're gonna move on to the last topic in just a minute, guys, which is gonna be Eternals, the best movie to come out. Ever. Just the history of ever. I'm not gonna Google that name for purposes, but I will believe that Cole Cassidy is a porn star's name. Because honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. Vera WPM, words per minute. I could do a words per minute test, but I'm not prepared for it. I haven't typed, like, at all today. I could do one, but I don't know if it'd be very successful. Oh, I hate typing tests, though. They're so weird. There's one that's a video game one? Wait, what? Guys, this is a joke, right? Guys, bro, Google is fucking watching me. So today, literally, no shot. Today I talked about, in a video, Grand Theft Auto, right? And I just typed in typingtest.com. Literally, the typingtest.com is about Grand Theft Auto. No shot. When Grand Theft Auto was released, the developer paid reviewers to give the game negative reviews. I mean, what is this simulation? This is a glitch in the Matrix. I mean, how does this happen? Weird. I don't trust it. I gotta check the phone that's listening to me, the technology that's listening to me. I mean, right now my words are being directly filtered through an AI that can murder me at any time if I say the wrong word. Hashtag free Hong Kong. Vera is a serious typer. I don't think I'm a serious typer. Maybe, should I just, maybe, okay, after Eternals, maybe I'll do one. If you guys really want to see my WPM. But I don't think you really do. What the fuck? I do not know, guys. I'm not scripted. Not scripted. That shit is weird. Okay. Alright, guys, so let's talk about the final topic of the evening, which is going to be Eternals. Now, you guys know I've complained a little bit about Eternals lately because I am not excited for Eternals. I think that it sounds and looks very mediocre. I'm not a fan of race gender swaps in movies, and they did this in this film. And it seemed like Marvel was trying to go in a very different direction. It seems like they were trying to go in more of a serious, I feel like, adult-themed direction. Because when you look at something like Spider-Man, it feels very, very teenager. It feels very young, upbeat, hip with the kids, okay? When you're looking at something like Eternals, it looks like a slugfest. It looks like only this truly looks like the Marvel movie an 85-year-old could actually understand and follow. Because we're just talking about a bunch of people in tights walking around. It truly, to me, does not look good. It does not look exciting. I'll watch it at some point because I do not talk about things that I don't give a fair chance to. So I'll sit through the slugfest at some point. But like this. It looks more like a drama than a Marvel movie. Anyway, the reviewer scores right now are not very positive. It is sitting at a 74% with 47 critic reviews, and I would expect this to do much better. I truly would expect this movie to be like a 95 reviewer score because we know that reviewers love Marvel. They love movies like this. They love to review them. They slurp them up like soup. But right now, it's getting pretty average reviews from reviewers. So I wanted to read a couple and give you all some of the first impressions. Maybe spoiler alert. If you don't want any spoilers, then maybe rewind 20 minutes. I don't know. I don't know what type of spoiler is going to be in here besides it explaining the general plot of the movie. But the first one is a 4 out of 5. Pretty positive. Not bad. It says the film speaks to what it means to be pawns in someone else's game and be forced to find reasons to continue. Each character seems passionate about moving forward without the reins of their celestial creator. Sounds fine, I guess? It's not very descriptive. It says the Eternals experience life on Earth across thousands of years with the help of a strong ensemble. Zhao tracks their shared-on despair as observers of history. I don't want to watch a movie where you've got, like, 10 people watching shitty things happen to the universe. I don't want to watch a movie where you have people sitting around watching, like, Thanos destroy everything. Or New York get destroyed for the millionth time. And suffer in silence, basically. That, to me, isn't a superhero movie. It doesn't sound entertaining. It doesn't sound new or exciting. It says, the next one says, Eternals is well constructed and thought out. However, Chloe Zhao demonstrates with her first blockbuster how quickly something resembling a style can be swallowed up by an agent voracious as Marvel. 3 out of 5. Sounds like a lot of the main points just were kind of jumbled together. It's maybe a bit of a concoction. Not that positive of a review. Somebody said it was rotten and said a disappointment of cosmic proportions. Eternals never takes off due to a pedestrian script that wastes a galaxy of talent. I mean, that doesn't sound very good. Ooh, a disappointment of cosmic proportions. I think the problem is that, again, people, when they hear Marvel, they expect superheroes. Bigger than the last time. Out of this world. Cosmic proportions. And it seems like they went in a very different direction with this movie. It feels like they went in a grittier, kind of earthier, more emotionally connected and invested experience. And while that might be able to work, I feel like a lot of people watching Marvel aren't up for that. I feel truly like you need another DC or Marvel to do that. Like another one where it's super, like, in the feels, really gritty, earthy, kind of emotional superhero experiences. Because, well, DC kind of does that. I feel like Marvel doesn't do that well. DC can, but I feel like Marvel that's not what I see from Marvel, or what I want from Marvel. It says, the fight-driven action is fun. Angelina Jolie really has a ball, but it feels all geared towards setting up further adventures. It sounds, from some of these, a lot of these actually, that this is like a filler movie. Like, oh, this is the best way to kick off a new phase of Marvel and a new direction Marvel wants to go in. Which, okay, I'd understand, but they're following it up with shit like Doctor Strange and Thor Love and Thunder that are gonna be not the same tone from what we understand. Marvel's Eternals is a decent flick, but it rarely manages to rise above what we've already seen from the MCU. This is a problem, is that I personally don't go into these movies expecting to see better than the last movie. There have been some fucking phenomenal Marvel movies. Doctor Strange is amazing. Some of the Thor movies really, really great. Like, Ragnarok was really fucking good. Some of the Avengers movies were really great. Don't get me wrong. Those are good, and I want to see more good content. But I try not to go into it going, I need this to be better than all the other movies, because sometimes you have an experience that truly isn't going to be topped, and then you're not going to enjoy any of these films anymore. Someone said a convoluted cosmic misfire in one of Marvel's dullest efforts in years. This is my worry with it. Is that it's going to be boring and bland and basic. And that to me isn't very exciting. It's not something I want to go and watch. It's not something I want to go and see. someone gave it a 2.5 out of 5. Perry Nemiroff, it says YouTube, top critic, no clue who they are. The weight of complicated exposition weakens the energy of Eternals a little too often. It's at its best when the focus is on the Eternals recreating their family, the humor of it, and the passion when they fight for each other and things they love. Okay, that's its best, but you gave it a 2.5 out of 5. Don't you think if you're giving it a 2.5 out of 5, the title or the first paragraph of the review wouldn't be, oh my god, it's amazing when these things happen? Just me? Eternals may not be the worst of Marvel's movies, but it's undoubtedly the most disappointing. Oof. That's rough. Boy, does this patchy, paceless film go on for an eternity. It's constantly engaged in a kind of grit-tooth authenticity theater, going out of its way to show you it's doing all the same things proper cinema does, even though none of them bring any discernible benefit whatsoever to the film at hand. It just sounds like it's a very mediocre, basic, bland, not very good, boring movie. Which isn't what I want to see, and what most people want to see. Eternals is a mess. By Polygon. Listen, I don't hate Polygon, don't get me wrong. I personally don't trust Polygon for movie reviews. Video games, okay, yeah. I mean, they put out good articles sometimes. IndieWire, C+. Can't these movies do anything else? Is it too much to ask the most dominant kind of cinema on the planet to shake things up and challenge itself in more of a significant way? It just sounds like it follows the Marvel formula, but not in a good way. That's actually something I want to praise WandaVision about, is because while it was... towards the end followed that classic Marvel formula, the beginning was very unique, and it was a little strange. It felt like, okay, you either needed to have less of it or more of it, because, like, the episodes were only 20 minutes each. So, the first, I don't know, at least half of them were only that. I praised them for it because it was... It had that Marvel formula, and, you know, you had a bad guy that reveals himself, and you've got the inner conflict with the main characters, and you've got a loss and a sacrifice that needs to be made. But at the same time, you also had that super unique element to it with the sitcom and the multiple sitcoms that they referenced, which was really, really cool. I felt like they did good with that series, except for the fact that I personally think, I know some people disagree, that they should have added Doctor Strange even as a short cameo at the end. Maybe post-credit scene, I don't know. But, I feel like people are getting bored of Marvel and their formula, and while they need to still follow it to a certain degree, they also need to change it up, because people are eventually going to say, enough is enough, I'm done watching these movies, and I feel like a lot of people are going to go and see Eternals, be really bored with it, and then be like, I'm going to skip the next Marvel movie because this one was not good. And it sounds like this one, they went in a very different direction, and I applaud them for trying to go in a different direction. But also, the end goal of that direction will probably be something I won't end up praising. 4 out of 10, Eternal shows Marvel making the same mistakes. Generic superhero characters, dull effects-driven action, making the entire film a prologue for the sequel as its rivals. And someone gave it a C and said one of Marvel's most ambitious movies in years, is also one of the weakest since Thor: The Dark World. Thor: The Dark World was not bad. Thor: The Dark World was not the worst Marvel movie, and you can't change my mind. You cannot change my mind. But guys, that's all that I really had to discuss tonight. We talked about Eternals, we talked about Overwatch and Blizzard's lawsuit, we talked about Ruby Rose going after the CW and Batwoman and Warner Brothers firing back, and we also talked about Nintendo Switch Online and their high pricing, potentially being over licensing costs. But I'm going to stick around for like 10 to 15 minutes, so if you guys have any questions or topics you'd like me to discuss, feel free to leave them in chat. I'd be happy to answer anything that you guys have to ask. And I want to tell you guys a bit about tomorrow. So I've put it in a community post and also in Discord, but tomorrow is my birthday. And the past couple years since I started streaming, I've live streamed on my birthday, so tomorrow I will be live streaming for my birthday. I'm going to be going live an hour earlier than I usually do. So tomorrow, instead of 8 p.m., I will be going live at 7 p.m. Eastern. I have a couple of different games that I'm going to play. And I'm pretty excited to just hang out for a couple hours, chit-chat, play some games. Bit of a variety stream. I don't know the third game I'm going to play yet. I have a couple ideas. If you guys have any suggestions for games, leave them in chat. I'd be happy to look them up or consider it. They'd have to be shorter games, but tomorrow I'm going to be playing some Apex Legends for a little while, since usually I try to throw in some kind of like filler FPS, so I'm going to be playing some Apex Legends, most likely. And I'm also going to be playing a game that Chris in chat had suggested and kindly donated, and it's called Lunch Lady. It's a horror game on Steam, and it looks like it's a pretty short experience, but it also looks like it's gonna be an interesting time. It's like a horror adventure indie game, and you're basically trapped in a school trying to escape the lunch lady. So we're gonna be playing that, some Apex, and I've got a couple ideas for what else I want to play. You guys will see in the thumbnail and description and stuff tomorrow, but if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in chat. I was considering a platforming game. I was thinking about like a Jump King, but I also hate platformers and I fucking suck at them. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Are they ever gonna make another Left 4 Dead? Well, they actually just came out. That was another game I was considering. They actually just came out with a new game called Back 4 Blood, which is by the same people that created Left 4 Dead, and it's basically Left 4 Dead in 2021. So while I don't think they're gonna continue the Left 4 Dead franchise, or at least yet, they came out with Back 4 Blood, which is basically the same thing. I was considering playing Black 4 Blood. I was considering playing Back 4 Blood tomorrow. Maybe I could play that for a little while. I don't know. I haven't gotten a chance to play it at all yet, but it looks pretty good. Looks interesting. So yeah, maybe. Lunch Lady Land, Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler's overrated. I'm sorry. He's been in some good stuff, don't get me wrong. But he's a little overrated. Yay, Apex? Yeah, I'm gonna play a little Apex. I don't think I'm gonna play much of it just because I want to play a couple games during the stream. But I'll probably play it for a little bit just to kind of fill time. Maybe towards the end of stream, like wrapping up my just playing it. I know you guys, I think it was the last discussion stream I had asked for suggestions, and you guys had told me to play hardcore Minecraft again. I actually played that last year. Funny enough, I played Minecraft last year during the stream. I could start a hardcore survival world, but I don't know. I'll have to consider it. Also, quickly, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, give it a like. If you're not, give it a dislike. Consider donating via Streamlabs. We have special Halloween donation notifications. Consider becoming a member of the channel. But primarily, like the stream. Share today's video if you didn't already. Take a look at it. I talked about Grand Theft Auto being censored. Because YouTube has been pretty fucking brutal when it comes to my channel over the past month. I don't usually complain or talk about YouTube that much, but YouTube's been fucking brutal. YouTube has been annihilating my channel. They have not been pushing the channel or its videos, and they also have wiped 500 subscribers from my account. And while some of those could be real people, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying all of them are fake, we're talking like them wiping like 30 at a time, which I don't think 30 people came together at once and just like randomly unsubscribed. So yeah, that's fun. And I've been gaining subscribers, but they've been wiping so many, I'm negative on the month, which is not very poggers. That's not very cool. Yeah, after Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore, the dip in quality is noticeable. Some of Sandler's stuff is still good. Like, he's funny, don't get me wrong, but I also feel like he has just kind of fell off a little bit. I feel like just the quality is not there anymore. It is what it is, though, I guess. I mean, I still watch some of the stuff that he's in, but definitely not everything. Back for Blood. Yeah, it's on Game Pass, so I could play it. Xbox Game Pass game list. I was also thinking of... what game was it? It was a horror game. I don't remember what it was called. I don't remember. It started with a V. Visage? I don't remember. But there was like a horror game that I was looking at and considering. There's so much random stuff though that they've been adding to Xbox Game Pass that I haven't gotten a chance to play. I'm kind of over the card games or the how do you explain the deck building games? I'm kind of over those right now. I feel like everyone came out with them like all at once, and I'm kind of a bit worn out. Just a little bit. I mean, I feel like it's just because they're all the same theme, which is the problem. But it is what it is. You're wrong, Vera. Sandler shit. Have you seen South Park? Some of South Park's funny. Some of South Park isn't that good anymore, though. Some of it's good, though. Also, I didn't know... Wait, really? Oh, no, it's not. Haha, get fucking Shrek'd. It popped... When I clicked on Xbox, it popped up with Diablo 2. I'm like, Diablo 2? Remastered is really on Game Pass? Wow, they're desperate. They're not. I take it back. What else is on here? I do not know what half of these games are. Scarlet Nexus was a good game. You guys see it, right? Why does this game follow me fucking everywhere? Like, come on. This game follows me everywhere. I cannot catch a break with this damn game. Tomorrow, Guardians of the Galaxy comes out. That's my birthday game this year. I can't believe that I got that as the birthday game. Like, out of every... Oh, here's the game that I was thinking of. Out of every game that could come out... It's puzzle trivia, though. Listen, that's not... That's maybe not for me. Out of everything that could release on my birthday, I really got that. Lemniscate. Anthem. Oh, amazing. So many 360 games that are really freaking good. All the Battlefield games, so good. Black Desert is so fun, but it's definitely not a stream. Well, a one stream game. What is this? I feel like I've heard a lot of people talk about this. Black. Trademark. I don't know, guys. I was just kind of looking while we were here. Control also is on it. I'm looking forward to this one for some weird reason. Like, I haven't seen much about it, but like I also need to get around to playing it because it like looks kind of cute. I don't know. Why do I have to enter my date of birth to see Craftopia? Really? Yeah, Sandler just... He did stop trying, but the problem is that I feel like he does still try. I really do. I feel like he acts like he doesn't try, and sometimes he doesn't, and he's funny, but a lot of the time he's just not funny at all, in any way possible. Yeah, YouTube does act pretty fucking wonky around this time of year. It's unfortunate. Around the holidays, it gets pretty terrible. Oh my god, a little owl family. What game is this? Oh my god, what is this? So pretty. Oh my gosh, a little owl city. Owls are fucking stupid. Oh my, well, like, not because they're owls, but like, they're dum-dums. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Wow. So, it looks like a new world. Looks like New World with owls. You are a traveling painter exploring the land of East Shade. Capture the world on canvas using your artist's easel. Well, guys, that sounds interesting. And with that being said, I'm going to wrap up stream here. Thank you all so much for stopping by tonight. I do appreciate it. Like I said, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, I will be starting my birthday stream, so make sure to stop by. 7 p.m. Eastern, probably until like 11 or 12. I don't know yet, but I'll let you guys know. But, yeah. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the donations, for the new members. Thank you for all the support tonight. Thank you for stopping by, listening to me rant over the past few hours. If you didn't see today's video on Grand Theft Auto being censored, please go. Aw, owls are fucking stupid. They have pea-sized brains. Half a pea-sized brain, okay? They do. I'm sorry. They're not smart. They're kind of cute. I don't. The thing with owls is that like some of them are like okay, but I feel like just owls overall aren't that cute. I don't know. I'm not a bird person though. When is it tomorrow? When is what tomorrow? Are you mocking me? Tomorrow night, October 26th, at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'll be doing my birthday stream. I'll be playing Apex Legends. I'll be playing Lunch Lady, a couple other things. But yeah. Make sure to give the stream a like if you enjoyed, a dislike if you didn't. Join our Discord. We're very active there. I do tag you all when I go live in case YouTube doesn't notify you of the live streams. And yeah, thank you all so much for stopping by and have a fantastic evening, everyone.